Be me, 2 a.m. copywriter. Spend too much time overthinking words people forget 2 minutes later. Quiet type. Believe in kindness, even if it looks boring online. Met her at a friend's birthday. Maya. 25, loud laugh, louder opinions. First word she ever said to me. Don't tell me you're one of those guys who quote Rupi Kaur. I said, only on Tuesdays. She laughed. That laugh stayed with me. We started talking. She's feminist, vocal, bold. Says she doesn't need a man, but likes the idea of love. Says men are trash, half jokingly, half bitterly. I didn't take it personal. I just listened. We kept running into each other. Mutual friends, same hangouts. She teased me for being quiet. I teased her for being too loud. We started getting coffee after. She'd rant about work. I'd listen. Sometimes I'd rant about silence. She'd interrupt. It worked. Somehow. One night, after drinks. She said, "You're not like other guys." I said, "You mean boring?" She said, "I mean safe." Something about that word felt both sweet and sad. We started dating. She posted our first photo. Caption, "Maybe there are exceptions." Comments went crazy. Oh my God, she finally soft-launched? Who's the lucky man? I didn't reply. I never liked being on display, but she looked happy, so I smiled. Weeks passed. She'd send me TikToks about emotional men. This is so you. I'd send her memes about overthinkers. You mean you? It was nice, but sometimes her words still stung. She'd say things like, "Men always disappoint eventually." "You're too good, you'll ruin it somehow." I'd ask why she said that. She'd shrug. I've seen enough. We argued once about a tweet. Some guy online said women love attention more than love. She quoted it. And? He's not wrong. I said, then what are we doing? She said, don't make it deep, it's just a tweet. But for me, words are deep. She started talking to this photographer friend. Always just for creative ideas. He'd DM her at 1 a.m. about lighting setups. I said, that's not about lighting. She said, you're being insecure. I said, maybe, but he's being intentional. Silence. She said I was suffocating her, that she couldn't breathe around expectations. I said I just wanted honesty. She said honesty was boring. I started pulling back. Stopped texting first. Stopped checking her stories. She noticed. You're cold lately, she said. You wanted space, I said. Not Antarctica, she said. One weekend, she posted a photo. Sunset, wine glass, caption. He was gentle, but the world wasn't. 12,000 likes, hundreds of comments. I wasn't mentioned. I didn't ask. I didn't want to hear the answer. Few days later, she texted, you've changed. I said, you too. She said, you stopped chasing me. I said, you told me not to. She said, so you listened? I didn't reply. I didn't know how to explain that I was tired of being tested. Tired of proving I wasn't one of the men she hated. 2 nights later, she came over. Mascara smudged. Said she missed me. Said she thought I'd fight harder. I said, you said you didn't want to be chased. She said, I didn't want to feel unwanted either. I almost said, so which one do you want? But I didn't. She cried quietly on my shoulder. I held her. She whispered, you're too calm. It's scary. I whispered back, maybe that's what peace feels like. She stayed the night. We didn't talk about it again. But everything felt different. Her texts got shorter. Her tone colder. One morning, she said she needed time. Said she didn't know what she wanted. I said, okay. She said, that's all you're gonna say? I said, I've said enough. She left. And this time, I didn't stop her. Weeks later, I saw her post a story. Her and the photographer guy. Laughing, same sunset spot. Caption, he understands me without words. I didn't block her. I didn't even react. I just sat there, staring at a screen glowing with everything I wasn't. My friend said, "She'll regret it." I said, "Maybe I will too." Months pass. She posts less about love, more about healing. Quotes, candles, gym mirrors. She looks fine. I scroll anyway. One night she texts me, "You hate me?" I say, "No." She says, "Why not?" I say, "Because you're human." She says, "You're too forgiving." I say, "You're too afraid." She leaves me unseen. I look back at old photos, her smile in my hoodie, me half asleep beside her. She used to say I made her feel safe. Now she says safety feels like silence. I don't know which one of us was wrong. Maybe both, because she wanted love that burned, and I wanted love that healed. She wanted fireworks. I wanted warmth. She wanted to be chased. I wanted to be chosen. She said men are trash. I tried to be recycled. But maybe she never wanted something fixed. Maybe she only knew how to run from what didn't hurt her first. And now, I scroll, see her post. He taught me what peace looks like, but I wasn't ready for peace. 3 okay likes. Everyone calls it beautiful. I just call it familiar. I don't hate her. I don't hate anyone. But sometimes, I hate how love feels like an essay you can't finish. How someone can scream, "Men are trash," and still cry when one refuses to chase her. Maybe it's not about gender. Maybe it's about timing or trauma, or the quiet fear of being loved the right way too soon. So I let her go. I stopped checking, stopped scrolling, stopped rewriting the story. But some nights, when it's 3 a.m. and the city's quiet, I still think about her laugh, and how I spent so long trying to prove I wasn't the villain in her story, only to realize I was just the chapter she needed to confirm her belief before finding a new one to break. Maybe that's what men are trash really means sometimes. Not that we all are, but that some people only love what they already expect to lose. And some of us stay gentle anyway.